we tend to overcomplicate things. If you've ever thought of worship as something that's mysterious or difficult to understand, I assure you it's not. This course is simple and practical, but rich, because worship, though it's simple to understand, is extremely profound in its implication and ripple effect in the lives of those who participate in it passionately. We're going to get to the meaning of worship, but first, I want to touch on this. So why worship? Let's think about it in a very practical way. Worship brings us closer to God, closer to His presence. What's in His presence? Light, peace, and strength. There's more, but let's touch on those. So, for example, if I would like the paths that I travel in this life to be illuminated by His brilliant light, if I am close to Him, I can have clear sight to see where I'm going spiritually so I don't stumble. In the same sense, I can enjoy His peace when I'm near Him, because He's not moved like I can be with challenging circumstances. And when I am weak and feel vulnerable, His strength and His protection will surround me. Psalm 91 says, "He that dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." So what is the meaning of worship? What does it look like? How do we begin the process? To answer those questions, let's make use of information that's already available to us from our life experiences. What steps would you take to go about building and establishing a relationship with someone that you meet and sense a connection with? Let's consider that. I met Bill when his mom introduced us at church. He and I talked a little and found that we had some things in common. So we met later over a Coke. I learned that he had served as a soldier in the military, was a father of 2 boys, and the type of relationship that he had with his mother, the type of son that he was. As we spent more time together, I learned how big of a heart he had and how loyal he could be as a friend. And now, after several years, he's a trusted, loving, and loyal friend to me. Have you ever considered that in the same way, if we are to get to know God, we must first approach Him and spend time with Him? And we will find that He has something in common with us and we with Him. Like, for example, if you have children, He does too. And He's had trouble with many of them. If you don't, but someone has ever lied about you or betrayed you, He also has that in common with you. He was betrayed. He was thrown under the bus, and he really didn't deserve that. If we will spend time learning who He is and of His nature, we'll begin to see His great strength, His faithfulness, and become confident that He will do what He has said He will do. We're going to speak about worship in broader terms. But for this conversation, let's speak of it very simply. Let's define it as exalting someone. What's the opposite of exalting someone? It's putting them down, right? If we in some form put God down, like use His name in vain, or demonstrate a lack of trust in Him, in His goodness, or complain against Him, or other negative things, we can be pretty sure that a true, lasting friendship with Him is really not in the making. On the other hand, if we encourage the relationship and exalt Him, we signal to Him that we welcome and would enjoy His company. And so it is with worship. As we are accepting of God and learn about Him, like in Scripture, for example, and find things in common with Him, we will likely find that we have an incredible friend in Him and find favor with Him. Of course, there's more to worship, But this gives us a good starting point. It's helpful to see that in a very similar way that we build and establish relationships with people around us, we can begin to build a relationship with the person of the Father, a beautiful worship relationship. We may exalt our friends through our encouragement of them, but only the Father is worthy of actual worship. And now, let's begin our journey of learning about the worship of God.